Alright guys, I'm gonna do this video is gonna be about stopping on the right shoulder, especially if you're in a truck, but it should be applicable regardless of what you're driving. Uh, basically, general rule of thumb is don't ever do it. If you don't absolutely need to be there, don't stop there. If you have to stop, if you're a truck driver, for example, you need to take a piss or something, get on an off ramp or something, or go to a rest area, or go to a truck stop, whatever the case may be, but don't stop on the right shoulder. Um, if you're if you work for a large company, or actually a lot of trucking companies, if you get caught stopping on the right shoulder and you don't have a legit uh, mechanical or medical emergency for being there, and someone reports you and has proof that you're there, it's very possible you could get terminated immediately as soon as they know that's what's going on. I'm going to show you a good example of why what I call poor right shoulder habits. Don't be there if you don't need to, and then especially don't do what this individual did. This was my dash cam view again. This was just yesterday. I was on my way home from my pickup in Colton. I was just a couple of exits away from where I live, and you'll see what happened here. I'll give a little more explanation in a second. Damn, Cadence, can't you at least get up to speed before you move over like that? What the fuck are you even on the right shoulder for if you don't need a wrecker or a medic? Okay, so that's the scene you saw. Now, um, you saw I did have I came up on him really fast. You heard that I had my turn signal on early to try to indicate that I wanted over to the next lane. That didn't mean I was going to get over. It means I wanted over. But you can tell by the driver on the right shoulder's reaction, he was under the assumption that I was able to get over regardless. Very bad idea. So like I said, I had to wait for a four-wheeler to get by me first. And after they got by me, I still got to worry about whether the next vehicle behind them is going to check up enough or not try to speed up and try to close the gap and deny me access. I also have to worry about traffic in the number one lane and see and make sure they're not going to try to come over into the space that I need. Uh, Not to mention, I had another truck following me. Had probably had no idea what this truck was up to on the right shoulder, and all of a sudden get surprised like that. Uh, Now, it's got kind of a problem there. It's like I could slow down, but then if I slow down, it's going to be much less likely I can get over to the other lane without causing a problem over there. And who knows, if I move over that way, so whoever I move in front of, there's a possibility they could come over around me on the right and find out they're going even faster than I was originally and have an even bigger problem than I had. So, all very bad, right? Any good company is going to tell you stay off that right shoulder. If you don't need a wrecker or a medic or basically a mechanic or something to get you off there, you don't need to be there. Okay, very dangerous. In fact, if state police show up and they see you parked there and you don't have a valid reason for being there, they can actually cite you. And you don't, yeah, of course, that's another thing. You don't want to have your company finding out that you got ticketed for doing something stupid like that. All right, so then if you are dumb enough to do that, or carefree or lazy, or whatever word you want to call it, I don't care. Don't be an idiot and do like this guy did. As you saw, this guy got up onto the road when it's probably only 15, maybe 20 miles an hour, while all the traffic's doing at least 60. Okay, and that's a very bad situation. If I would have, now imagine how hard I would have had to hit my brakes to avoid crashing into the back of him if I didn't have any way to move over like I originally had been trying to do. Would have been, and it would have not. It would have been very bad on my end too, because you ever see what happens when a truck rear ends another truck? I'll tell you what, the results on the person who does the rear ending are not pretty. Uh, Very easy to completely crumple up the front end of a truck, but it's very difficult to do it to the back of a trailer. Um, that trailer has such a really strong, long and strong structure to it. So the thing that's going to give is the tractor. And I had one situation back when on my England days, OTR days there. I was eastbound on what was it, I-70 in Ohio, and I think it was around mile marker 50 or 52, whatever the heck it is over there is a rest area. Over on the westbound side, I had noticed there was an accident over there they were cleaning up. It was a Volvo tractor trailer, and the front end of the Volvo was caved in all the way from the hood was caved in all the way to the bulkhead here. It separates the front section from the sleeper cab or sleeper area. That's how bad it was. So as soon as I saw what kind of damage there was, I was pretty certain the driver of that truck had no chance of surviving it. And sure enough, it was a fatal. Okay, so just imagine what kind of serious legal problems you can create for yourself by doing something like that. You pull out onto the road when you're on the road on the shoulder illegally in the first place. If you're able to get back on the road, then it begs the question: why are you there in the first place? It must not be for any good reason. So in most cases, it's just because drivers want to take a piss or maybe get something out of the back of their truck, like more water or drink or food or whatever. Who knows? And just because they're too lazy to stop on on a ramp or rest area or get into an actual parking area. But just remember, the higher the speed is relative to where you're parked, the more dangerous it is, and the less you should the less reason you should be over there for any reason. All right, so the same kind of thing applies for on-ramp and off-ramp parking. I'm not going to say I don't ever park on ramps myself, but use your judgment here, okay? What is actually safe? Is it safer to be in an area where speeds are 5 and 10 miles an hour, or is it safer to be in a spot where a drunk driver coming flying up a ramp at 60, 70 miles an hour or whatever and slowing down quickly, maybe even lose control, can crash into you and get killed? You don't want to be involved in that mess, okay? So please, if you're dumb enough to make a stop on the right shoulder for no good reason, and like I already said, the only good reason is if you have a mechanical breakdown or a medical emergency. That's it. Any other reason, you probably have no good reason to be there. All right, and not to mention, remember what kind of other problems you can create. Like I said, there was no guarantee I was going to be able to get over into that other lane, and if I wasn't able to get over because of, like I say, one of maybe the person behind the car I was waiting to get around me decided not to give me space, or someone in the number 1 lane decided to come over the number 2 lane and prevent me from getting over there, I would have been a sitting duck. I don't take kindly to that, okay? I'm not one of these kind of guys who's going to snitch on another driver for doing something stupid like this, but when you put me in danger, yeah, guess what? I'm going to make sure that I do what I can about it, by whether it be notifying your company or whatever, if you are a commercial driver. Just no excuse for that. You're a professional. You're supposed to be a professional, and you're supposed to be safe, not be doing stupid shit like this. All right? Don't ever let me catch you doing this in front of me. All right, thanks.